welcome back to Flowers in the Autumn Time. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. The last time we were together, things kind of started, we started getting a bit more of a clear picture of our girl Yuzu. She is, this is a series that I feel does have very complex characters. I think that, like, the way these characters' minds work is very well put together, and you kind of understand like where they're all coming from, and even when they're doing like crappy things like the stuff that Rika did in spring, I think that like they've done a good job of kind of helping you kind of understand the emotions that guide the hand in a way. And I feel like with Yuzu, we are dealing with a very, very complex study. This is a character that, while on the surface, she kind of comes off, like when we've seen her up until now, she's kind of that just, you know, that upperclassman that's kind of silly. She's, you know, kind of just breezing along on life, taking things, you know, a day at a time. Not too many cares, seemingly. She's actually really wrapped up in her head in a lot of ways that we've not even begun to explore yet. I think that they've got something really, really wild going on here, especially when we're looking at the dynamic that she saw in herself with Suo, and how she kind of saw her as kind of a kindred spirit, and that they're both kind of, you know, timid and afraid and unchanging. And that's completely changed because now Suo is driven, and I feel like Yuzu feels like, I don't know if there's any resentment, but I think she definitely feels like she kind of lost something, and having something there where it's just like, because she can look at somebody and say, I see me in her. So I don't know that that changes anything. It's just like there's a comfort there in knowing that there's somebody else kind of like living life the same way, but now that she's changed, she's kind of left a little rudderless maybe. And then there's the dynamic that's going on with the Sasaki twins. It's just, there's a lot. That first chapter, I think, may be the most densely packed chapter we've seen in this series yet. So, continuing with our theming of the Wizard of Oz and the Scarecrow now. This one started with, I get how my dad feels. Watching the tropical fish peck at their flakes of food is incredibly soothing. Since we had to move around a lot because of my father's work, he rarely brought anything hobby related into the home. However, the one thing he could never give up, no matter how many times we moved house, was his aquarium. At first, he'd only kept aquatic plants, but after I had shown an interest in tropical fish, he started to keep those too. Since he was often late home, I maintained a tank and looked after the fish in his stead. Truthfully, I'd only taken a liking to tropical fish after watching a movie where all the characters were fish. Is this Finding Nemo? Also, I feel like this aquarium shot, this is like the second time we've come back to it, and somebody looking into their reflection, despite the fact that this is happening before that. I feel like that's going to be a theme. I feel like we're gleaning something from this. There's something thematically happening here, both with kind of the nature of fish and an aquarium, and like living a life that's completely sheltered and seeing yourself in that. Maybe I'm just reading way too much into this right now. Looking down on those vibrant creatures darting about is surprisingly relaxing. Between his demanding job and looking after our family, my dad must have found some welcome relief in his cherished aquarium. The first week of October has already flown by. Okay, so we know where we're at now in time-wise. So we've only got like 3 weeks or so left until Halloween. Preparations for the Halloween party are in full swing. While keeping track of our progress and tending to club functions doesn't take up too much of my time, the Council of Nikaya is required to lend a hand if anyone asks for help with their individual preparations. And then there's the costume making, which all students are expected to participate in.
私は幸せだな。
I murmur with a smirk, as though sensing danger. The fish scatter, swimming, eating, and sleeping. I'm envious of their straightforward, instinctual life. I'm poking at the tank when I see a shadow reflected in the glass. I don't know that we can see it. I think it's maybe... I don't even know that they're actually showing somebody else reflected in the glass.
ごきげんよう。今日は珍しく一人のようだね。
Your other half, I say as I turn to face the girl behind me.
ごきげん
Hey, how's it going?
というのでしたね。
Still unused to our school's former manner of greeting, a grimace mars her pretty face as she returns the salutation, going on to inform me that it's not as if they're joined at the hip.
そうかい？見かけるときは八重垣くんと常に一緒のような気がするのだけどね。解除していますから。それで八代先輩は熱帯夜のお世話ですか？
She's so soft now. She's like, she really mellowed the hell out after summer. Like, Erica did some good for her.
実家でも飼っていたからね。寮長に頼んでたまに餌をやったり水槽の掃除をさせてもらっているのさ。なんだい？いえ、八代先輩はあまり動物が好きではない方だと思っていたので。そう見えるのかな。ヘビ以外なら大概の動物は好むのだけど。
This is more perception stuff. Like, this is also something that's also pretty big for her. The way people see her. And like the way that she constantly actually defies all of those expectations but feels she needs to live that way. I recall that I've previously had another classmate tell me that I don't look like an animal lover too. Is it really that hard to imagine? Seeing me fold my arms sulkily, Takasaki-kun smiles a little. Yeah, they think you hate him so much they thought you murdered some of them. Now that she mentions it, she doesn't strike me as the type either. It's hard to picture the rigid, ever-composed Takasaki-kun playing with animals. As I mutter to myself, Takasaki-kun sticks a long, pale finger into the tank to stroke the fish's scales.
高崎くんは飼ったことがないのかい？ああ、芸能のお仕事をされていたのだったね。
Too famous. She's too famous for pets.
正直、少し前までは何とも好きでも嫌いでもありませんでした。でも、そういえば一時、ウサギの世話をしていたね。はい、初めは義務感からだったのですが、触れると壊れてしまいそうな感触だとか、私が世話をしないとダメなところとか。
Oh. Catching herself, she blushes faintly.
世話をすれば答えてくれるのが嬉しいかもです。
There's nothing wrong with that. It's fine. Her passionate words resonate with me, and I comment that it might be nice to have a pet again someday. She gives a slight nod and follows up by saying that one day she'd like to have a pet rabbit of her own.
八代先輩は飼うならどんなペットが欲しいですか？
A dog! A little dachshund, maybe. I'm a little surprised to hear a probing question from her.
やはり犬かな。王道ですね。
The easy option. I don't know. I think fish are maybe a little bit easier than dogs. Like, dogs need a lot of attention. They want to be around you a whole lot. Fish, you know, hey, keep them happy with some food, clean out their tank a bit. I don't know. I don't have to babysit a fish all that much.
王道か。猫派のものに石を投げられそうだが、やはり分かりやすく懐いてくれる動物がいい。
Uncomplicated, affectionate animals. So like Ichigo, she's very uncomplicated and very affectionate.
それなら熱帯魚は違 うのでは？
They absolutely do not.
世話をしているものの
They remember who takes care of
覚えてくれ
them.
るものだよ。
I wonder if
挨拶を
that's
すれば
true.
寄ってくるくらいにはなる。ならお魚もいいですね。ああ。だがわかりやすく甘えてくる動物も
Aww.
顔を舐められたり、思い切りお腹を撫で回してみたいからね。
I'm sure that Ichigo would do either of those two things for you. I think that would be, she would probably be a-okay with both. I voice the wish I've secretly harbored for a long time. Takasaki-kun blinks at me and smiles.
なんだか可愛いですね。え？あ、犬がかい？そうだろう。
I think she was talking about you, friend.
違います。八代先輩がです。
Yeah! She absolutely is. Look at her! Look at her. She can't deal with it. She can't handle it. She can't deal, man. Feeling my cheeks burn at her straightforward compliment, I cough to try and cover my awkwardness.
それで放課後のこの時間に熱帯魚の世話をするなんて、ハロウィンパーティーの準備の方は順調に進んでいるんですね。順調だよ。スイス時計のように動い
Like
て
a
る。
Swiss watch. With one eye still on the fish tank, I tack on a but.
こともなしにさせるためにはそれなりに苦労が多い。
Yeah, I imagine this is just not something that's easy to handle. I've done theater productions, and I know that even something like that is just exhausting enough that you need to get away at some point while you're getting all that shit together, or you're just gonna drive yourself insane.
そうなんですか？あまり疲れた風には見えませんけど。
This is a girl that's very good at putting on a mask. Maybe that's one of the benefits of your unique looks, she says with the utmost seriousness.
クォーターはクォーターなりに容姿の悩みがある。
That's true. I have to imagine that's definitely... I have to imagine that's definitely like a pretty big thing in Japan, being mixed race.
あ、そうですね。
Not that it isn't everywhere, but knowing the two Japanese people that I know and having heard them talk about like weird racial things there, it definitely makes me think, yeah, I have to imagine some mixed race folks might run into some issues here and there, whether they are, you know, internalized or issues in their environment. She cringes and I shrug to show her I'm just messing with her.
何？名所旧跡へ旅行に行くと必ず観光客に共に写真に写ってとせがまれる。外国人とかではなく八代先輩だからだとは思いますけど。
It's because you look like you. As she murmurs quietly, I reflect on how I'd never have expected Takasaki-kun to be so talkative. Feeling suddenly affectionate toward her, I find myself staring at her pretty, delicate features. Don't we all, though? Isn't that what we all find ourselves doing at one point or another?
何ですか？いや、随分と穏やかな表情になったものだとね。
Again, I think that's something I mentioned
硬い顔つきだったからね。
near the end or like right at the end of the previous game, but like the voice actress that is doing Chidori's voice did an amazing job of softening her performance over time, and she's now just not a completely different character, but there's just a completely different way with which she speaks, and that speaks to like both good direction and acting, I think. She seems to want to say something in response, but stops herself.
やはり八重垣君との出会いが変えたのだろうね。
Oh
新しい
yeah.
道に乗ることができ
Oh indeed.
そうですね。エリカのおかげです。
And she so readily just admits it. Like she's still got like she's still honest and forthright and just so out there with everything, but it's in a completely different like there's a different tone to it. It's still like the same earnestness that she spoke with in the previous game, but it's now just it is softer. She murmurs quietly, a blush staining her cheeks. Then, as she continues trailing her finger through the water of the tank, I tell her that I'm glad they're both on equal footing.
対等ですか？そうさ。互いに同じくらいの気持ちであることが望ましい。
Slipping that word couples in there. She's fishing for a rather direct answer.
そうですか。私としては少しくらい頼り合う関係の方がいいと思いますけど。
I'm about to tell her she only thinks that way because things are going well right now, but I stopped myself. I shouldn't have said what I just did, but when I thought of her and Yaigaki-kun, I'd regurgitated my own warped feelings that underclassmen had already seen right through. Instead, I say what's necessary to smooth things over.
対等というのは5対5ってことだろ？力関係が崩れていくと6対4、7対3となっていく。いいかい高崎くん。こいつをかけてみると 5×5 は25だ。6×4 は24。7×3 は21。
Out here doing math.
徐々に歪
Don't
み
do
を
math, it makes me cry.
一瞬うなずけましたけど、それってこじつけなんじゃない
And
です
yeah,
か？
it felt a little strained to me. Looks like she realizes it's a stretch. I smile sardonically.
健全な関係はそれだけ尊いということだよ。失ってからでは遅い。
Don't know
今の関
what
係
you
を
got
大切にした。
till it's gone. I'm still giving advice that's probably unwanted, but she smiles and nods. Her bashful expression makes me feel uncomfortable. I tell her I'd better be getting back to the council. Hanabishi-kun tells me she's on her way back from the library.
八代先輩は2階屋の階ですか？ああ、少し前に終わったところさ。その
Poking my nose into Takasaki-kun's affairs had brought back memories of that day, and I'd wanted to escape from reality for a bit. Of course, I don't tell her that part.
校内を少し見回っていたんだよ。しかし、僕としたことが見逃しがあったとはね。
I wag my finger at Hanabishi-kun, who exited the school building after me. She smiles.
八代先輩を出し抜いたなんて名誉ですね。あ、そうです。寄宿舎まで一緒に帰りませんか？ああ、構わないよ。というか、スオ君とは一緒ではないのかい？
She shakes her head in response to my implied question of whether we should wait for her.
今日は図書委員の日ではないんです。私が個人的に本を読もうって。アミティエの趣味に合わせてみたってわけか。花火師君は本当にいいアミティエなんだね。
I regard her affectionately as she denies the compliment, blushing and fiddling with her braids. Curious about the book she's holding, I ask her.
それでどんな本を借りたんだい？アミティエの趣味に合わせるなら実用書系ではないのだろう？ああ、これです。
She holds it out to show me the title.
三島由紀夫の仮面の
Confessions of a Mask. Can't wait for this to play a role in a mystery later. I better write this down.
八代先輩？いや、以前読んだことがあるが面白かった。
Confessions of a Mask. I've never read Confessions of a Mask, but I do know a certain somebody that's wearing a mask. Her name is Yuzuri, huh? Just in case you missed what I was going for there. Her blush reappears, and I feel the emotions I experienced while reading Confessions of a Mask rush back all over again. 八代先輩は何をプレゼントされると What
嬉しいです
kind
か？
of present would it please you to receive? As we walk our way back to the dorms, Hanabishi-kun startles me with a random question. I hope I didn't accidentally voice the worries I'd been turning over in my head.
急な話題だね。誰かにプレゼントでもするのかい？ええ、旧友のお誕生日は必ず祝うようにしているので、八代先輩は 今までいただいたもので特に嬉しかったものはありますか？そうだな。
Put the moves on him, why not? Be a big old horn dog. Looking into the earnest eyes behind the lenses of her glasses, I find myself wanting to mess with Hanabishi-kun.
あまり深く考えすぎなくてもいいんじゃないかな。何がですか？プレゼントだよ。こういうものは古来から贈る気持ちが大切と
It's the
相場が
thought
決ま
that
っているだろ
counts. Even the dirty ones. She smiles innocently in agreement then. What? What? She's making a move!
自らがプレゼント
Oh, listen to you.
きっとスオ君も喜んでくれるはず。
Damn! It's real good.
なんでスオさんのことになっているんですか？
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
花火師君がプレゼントするのだろう？なら相手はスオ君に決まっているじゃないか。違います。スオさんの誕生日は3月で。八代先輩、そんなに近づかれたら。
Chill, girl. You were about to explode.
そうだね。花火師君のハートはスオ君だけのものという。
This is vintage Yuzuriha Yatsushiro right now. When I pull back from her, she's flushed from the tip of her nose to the roots of her hair. My worries continue to plague me as I gaze at the figure of my underclassman, illuminated by the crimson rays of the setting sun. I hunch down a little in the as the chill autumn air caresses my neck.
そうだ。そろそろ寒くなる頃だし、マフラーや手袋なんてのはどうだろう。
Yeah, get her a muffler.
マフラー、手袋ですか？少し前に届きましたけど。そうではなくて手編みさ。乙女チックでプレゼントには最適じゃないか。確かにスオさんからもらったら死んじゃうくらい。
Did you just let it slip? Did you just let it slip? I smiled to myself. I knew it was for Suo-kun. Huh. A scarf, huh?
考えが読まれたかと思って焦ったが。はい、何ですか？いや、悩むくらいなら動いてみようと決めていたところだったのさ。
Take action, huh?
ハロウィンのことですか？ネリーの誕生日プレゼント。
Nope, I meant Nettie's birthday present. Oh, October 17th. Feeling like Hanabishi-kun has unknowingly given me the kick in the butt I needed, I clap her on the back and thank her.
はい。
Sure, like whatever, dude. What I actually do will depend on my mood in the moment. But however much I despise change, there's a hope inside me that perhaps things will be different once I've been able to celebrate my best friend's birthday together with her. I scratch my head. Guess I was off the mark. After my conversation with Hanabishi-kun yesterday, I've decided to knit something for Neri for her birthday. So I've come looking for my knitting holy Bible. However... Oh no. Well, I mean, everybody's making costumes now, so I imagine that's going to be a pretty hot commodity. It doesn't take a genius to realize that the whole school is in the middle of their preparations for Halloween. Almost all the books on dressmaking have been checked out. Of course, anything about knitting has been snapped up as well. I learned to sew at an early age, starting with replacing the buttons on my father's coats and moving on to stitching up my brother's ripped jeans. But I've never learned to knit. There'd been a fad for it while I was in elementary school, but for some reason, I'd found it embarrassing and never joined in. I glance over toward the librarian's desk, but she isn't there. She's not on duty today. We have gone like, what? almost 4 hours of game time now, and we've only seen Suo in mostly flashbacks? This girl's out doing some stuff. Of course, if like she's like, wow. Like if she's gotta like somehow become president of the Council of Nikaya, that's kind of a tall order. So I mean, not to mention she's got so many other duties already. Like she's got to cook for the Halloween festival. She's got to help people check out books. This girl's busy. She's got so much going on. I'm slightly relieved. I've been feeling awkward ever since I stirred things up by telling her to aim for the presidency of the Council of Nikaya. My emotions are conflicted. I want to see her, but at the same time, I'm nervous about talking to her.
さてどうしたものか
Since I haven't been able to find a book, the only option now left to me is finding someone to teach me who will also be able to keep their mouth shut about it. But even if it's someone I know to be discreet, if they're too close to us, it's still possible they'll accidentally let something slip to Neri. So it can't be anyone on the council, or any of our fellow classmates, which, by process of elimination, leaves me with...
望みの本が見つからないみたい
Well, well, well. Look who decided to conveniently show up. I jump, startled by the sudden voice behind me. Turning around, I find...
やった初めて脅かせた
Gotcha. Yaigaki-kun, smiling her usual feline smile.
すごく笑えないな何がです頭がいっぱいで周りが見えなくなっていた後ろを取られるとは一生の不覚だ
Yeah, you like already failed some Art of War bullshit. Drawing an imaginary sword, I imitate a character from one of the period dramas I've been into recently. Yaigaki-kun's smile doesn't falter.
猫のように抜き足差し足って具合で驚かそうとしてましたからね
I'm talking metaphorically,
足がこれだから
obviously.
もちろん
She's
流
still
氷
at
ってや
it.
つですがね
She slaps her knees.
で八代先輩は何を探しているんです最近よくここで会いますが今日も料理本探しですか
You looking for another cookery bookery lately? 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 What is lately? Cookery bookery lately?
いや
I'm about to tell her that I'm looking for a book on knitting, but I find myself embarrassed by how not me that would seem.
仮面の告白でも置いてないかと思ったのだけどね
Good cover. That is a very, good cover.
ああ三島由紀夫ですか少し前千鳥がハマっていたな
The book had popped into my mind because I'd seen Hanabishi-san with it yesterday, but I wonder now if perhaps Takasaki-kun recommended it to her. Adopting an air of innocence, I asked her if her amitié partner is a fellow bookworm.
いやそういうわけではないんですただ私と同じものを知っていた方が話題が合わせや
Oh
すい
yeah,
ってこ
you
と
kind of like, you know, understand your partner's hobbies a little bit, even if you're not going to be like a diehard like them. You know, you kind of got to show some interest, I think.
そいつはアミティア冥利に
God's gift to amitié partners.
まあありがたいですかね
Oh, even she's like softened up quite a bit. Like getting her to admit this like 3 months ago. Nuh-uh, ain't happening. She looks away, her cheeks faintly flushed. She really looks her age in moments like this.
三島由紀夫もいいがせっかくだ八重垣くんのおすすめを読んでみるとしよう私は特にこれが好きって本はありませんよ小説も実用書も辞典だって隔てはない暇がありゃ何でも読みますそいつは
You're a bona fide bookworm, I tell her, and her cat-like smile curls into view.
逆に八代先輩のおすすめってやつを知りたいですね
What would you recommend?
処置に勧められるものはないが
You know, let's go with something that's been thematically relevant since we started. Without even thinking. The title of my favorite book as a child falls from my lips. Did you know? And I didn't know this. I didn't know this until like pretty recently. But there's like 9 Wizard of Oz books. Did you know that? Did you know that there's like 9 books and they're like, it's just the first one that focuses on the Wizard of Oz, and then there's like 8,000 other of Oz things that's going on. Like it's I don't know the full rundown, and I don't even know like if they're still tied to the Wizard of Oz like story itself or like what role the wizard plays. But I just recently remember, like, wait, there's like 8 of those? I am the least read person on the planet, I assure you. I'm sure that like everybody else out there probably knew that. No, I wasn't recommending it. It's okay. It's probably a stupid book. Don't worry about it. I feel like I had an old wound prodded. Ignoring the pain, I try to brush it off casually with my usual grin. Huh. Like Suo-kun, Yaegaki-kun is good at sensing subtle emotional shifts. She must have realized she had a sensitive spot. Such a bad liar. That's so. She finally smiles when I mimic Ringo-kun's speech quirk, and I chide myself internally for getting emotional. Please say something. Please say something about knitting. Please say a book about knitting. It's similar to my original question, but distinctly different. I'd expect her to rack her brains over it, but... She says it as though it's already a done deal. Are you kidding me? This girl, like, she is literally the Solid Snake Sam Fisher of the school. She can go anywhere and be anywhere all at once, and she's got a lock-picking kit. So clearly you want to do something a little more small scale. Man, these girls are making some incredible leaps of logic for being 14 years old, I gotta say. When I was a 14-year-old man, I tell you what, I could input fatalities really good in Mortal Kombat 2. That was like my special skill. She smirks with satisfaction, then jerks a thumb towards herself. Yo, hell yes! If we're gonna get to hang out with Erica, let's go. She offers. Her feline smile curves higher as she tells me that of course she wouldn't. It's an expression that sets alarm bells ringing. She's a mob boss. I did you a favor, now you're gonna do me favors for the rest of your life.
そして裏の仕事を手伝わせ自分の一味に引き入れるんだよ。
I love the idea. I am so in love with the idea of Erica as a crime boss. I just love it. Erica chuckles.
学院のカリスマに歌手を作っておくのも一つの手かと思いまして、ね。
I mean, yeah. She always be thinking. She brags. Going by the intuition I've cultivated from observing other people since early childhood, she's only half joking.
スオ君と同じ、私と同じ気質を持っている相手だ。
Being indebted to someone isn't so bad, so long as it serves to bring you closer together.
恥を忍んでお願いするよ。
I clasp my hands together and accept the offer from the cute kitty cat sat before me. Oh, so cute. I'm surprised, Takasaki-kun says.
まるで女の子みたい。
Her almond eyes grow wide as she addresses Yaigaki-kun, who's teaching us how to knit. Yaigaki-kun scrubs a hand through her messy locks.
なんだ、もしかして私に言っているのか。両方よ。
Both of you. Looks like I'm being dragged into this too.
ま、僕自身似合わないことは自覚しているけどね。確かに八重垣くんが編み物ができるのは意外だったな。
そうですか。ネクラなインドア派女がまずやりそうなことでしょう。
I think she's got a good point there. She asserts confidently, but Takasaki-kun's pressing gaze compels her to explain further.
以前バスキア教員にプレゼントをした頃、ものづくりに目覚めた。
That's right.
そうなの？隠すことないじゃない。今みたいにからかわれるからだよ。お前はどうなんだ？編み物できるのかよ。趣味がなかった私に聞くの？相変わらず嫌味なのね。性分なんでね。
They're literally just a married couple already at this point. This bickering back and forth, they're literally already a damn couple. To listen to them, you'd think they were having a quarrel, but it seems like this is just how the two of them communicate. There's no animosity between them. They're like two cats play fighting.
さて、大体の説明は済みましたが、八代先輩は何を編むつもりなんですか？
マフラーに挑戦してみようと思うのだが。
それなら間に合うか。いや、手袋とか言われたらなかなかに難易度があるので、初心者には難しいんですよ。あなたも始めたばかりの初心者じゃない。ムカつくことしか言えない。
Damn, listen to her.
マフラーなら教えやすい
She's
と。
got her in a mood now.
ほら、でかい体を横にどけろ。
Move your big butt out of my way. Move that gigantic dumpy out of the way. Nudging Takasaki-kun out of the way, she moves her wheelchair over to the closet, opens the door, and pulls out a cardboard box.
それって編みかけのマフラーだよ。こいつで練習といくわ。
She shoots a smile in my direction. Don't think, feel. Chie Satonaka of Persona 4 is who said that. Come on, I'm not that uncultured. I know that that's Enter the Dragon. Famous line from Enter the Dragon rises to the forefront of my mind. Aww.
ひたすら反復作業なのだね。
I'm getting... Oh my god, look at this. This girl back here is ready to kill somebody. She already hates this. She hates this with a passion. Oh my god. It's so palpable. Look at her.
まっすぐ編んで縫い続けられるから初心者用なんですよ。反復作業が嫌いな人は苦手なのかもですけどね。
Yaigaki-kun's slim fingers and soft breath tickle my skin as she shows me how to do it. I really have to concentrate to stop myself from blushing.
そうか。先ほどから手ほどきを受けているが、なかなか進まないものだね。
この毛糸の太さは合い太ですが、この太さの毛糸で長さ140センチくらいのマフラーを編むとなると、1日10センチくらいずつ。
2 weeks if you can manage 10 centimeters a day? Woo, that's a lot. And her birthday's what, a week away?
14日。
2 weeks? Oh, Lord. Girl, you got some... Ooh, yeah, that ain't gonna work.
毛糸の太さで極太を選び、ザクザク編むことにすれば、1週間くらいで間に合うかもです。
そうか。それならなんとか間に合うか。
Yagaki-kun seems to have predicted my thoughts ahead of time and has come up with this alternative.
今回は一目ゴム編みでなくガーター編みにしたのも時間をネックに置いたからです。
編み方もいろいろあるのだね。
サクサク編むには一目ゴム編みの方がいいですが、ガーター編みは表編みだけでいいから間違いにくい。
一目ゴム編みとやらは違うのかい？
そっちは表目裏目と交互に編まなくちゃならない。ぼーっとやっていると誤って裏目裏目と編んだりするので、間違った場合
I'm just taking it in. I'm just letting the expert go here. I know nothing about knitting. I can work a sewing machine. I can do that. I could probably with a pattern I could probably make you a nice pair of boxers. I can do a shirt too. I had a home economics class and those were the only two things that we made. Everybody just had to make boxers and a shirt. Even the girls are like, yes, all the girls are making boxers and shorts and shirts too. So those are two things that I could probably make for you using a sewing machine.
ずいぶんと僕のことを考えて選んでくれているんだね。ありがとう、八重垣くん。
別に。
Oh, blushing again.
受けたからには
She really can't handle being thanked for anything. It's just not her nature. She can't stand it. Don't acknowledge me being nice. I hate it. The way she blushes and turns her head aside is so cute. Her fingers, entwined with mine as she demonstrates how to perform the stitches, feel strangely sensual. Ooh. Oh, look at you. And again, Terminator mode Takasaki-kun back here. Not in the mood.
もしかして。
Yes, an added perk. Let's just roll with it. Let's just, let's just enjoy the moment.
羨ましい。
Oh, here it comes. Somebody's about to get stone cold stunnered through a goddamn table. Takasaki-kun's barely audible whisper is filled with resentment. Looks like she's having the same thoughts as me.
今度、高崎くんも教えてもらうといい。同行の死が増えるのはいいことだ。だろ？
まあ、教えてほしいって言うなら。
Aww. Yagaki-kun responds, her cheeks still slightly reddened, and Takasaki-kun smiles brightly.
八代先輩はいい人だわ。
Aww. Although Yagaki-kun snarkily comments that it doesn't take much to sway her, she doesn't seem altogether displeased.
どうにも二人には当てられ
Get a room, you two!
白羽ならこの機会を逃さずに恋バナをしましょうとかいうタイミングですね。恋バナ？ああ、恋愛のお話ね。八代先輩は豊富そうだから高額のため聞いておきたいわね。
Oh, yeah, I want to hear some hot goss. I want to hear some of Yuzu's hot goss. What you got? What you got?
恋愛話と言っても。
Yeah, I don't know about that. Yagaki-kun's hands urge me to keep knitting while I think. What do you want to do here? It's blatantly obvious. Oh my god. We're gonna tease Takasaki-kun. Not blatantly obvious that my phone was to my side and not unlocked and had to reload the page, right? Let's not break the immersion here, everybody. I decide to have a little fun. After being made to feel like a third wheel around them, an idea to mess with them comes to mind. A cynical smile spreads across my features.
告白は受けるが付き合ったことはないから高崎くんの高額にはならないだろうね。
お付き合いしたことがないんですか？意外です。
なかなかタイミングが合わなくてね。そういえば知っているかい八重垣くん。
はい。
以前耳にした俗説でね、首にほくろがあるタイプは推しに弱いと。
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm definitely not the sub in this relationship. Takasaki-kun presses her hand to her neck in a fluster.
聞いたことがありませんね。
I can tell she's trying her best not to let any trace of embarrassment show on her face.
思った以上のことをしている。
Damn! Figuring that teasing them any further would just be mean, I tell them that it was just a bad joke. Time passes by in silence for a while as I steadily move my fingers.
そういえば以前の白羽さんたちに似た話があるって聞いたわ。
Oh dear. Takasaki-kun suddenly pipes up. I guess she's continuing our earlier girl talk.
それ。
その話題はデリケートなんだ。
Oh yeah, she's like, nope,
考えてしょ。
gonna shut this down right now.
あ、そうね。
Oh, she's not gonna be insistent about it, even though it's just got, hey, come on, it's like girl talk at this point, right?
それで処置仲間がどうしたって。結局聞くんじゃない。私と同期の転入生。あの中の3人が。
Three of them are in kind of a love triangle. The other girls who transferred at the same time as her, it sounds like the other 3 of them are in a love triangle.
三角関係。
Really now? There's nothing particularly strange about that word, but it somehow sounds weird coming from Takasaki-kun's lips.
白羽は首を突っ込んでないんだな。似た話があると言っただけでしょ。白羽
I
さ
just
んが
got
関
that
係ないわ。
goss! I'm a goss machine! She switches back to instructing me. Everything's hunky-dory again. However, her amitié partner seems disgruntled.
3人1組のアミティアか。僕の時は2人組でよかったよ。
なぜです？
隣でイチャイチャされたらかなわない。実は今もそんな気持ちを抱いている。
Wop, wop, wah. I wink at her, and she blushes visibly. Looks like she's regained her spirits.
アミティアか。
I'm about to start girlishly fantasizing about what things would have been like if Narine and I were amitié partners. Shaking it off, I focus on my knitting teacher's instructions. Some interesting things there to think about. For your judgment, O great teacher. Strawberry shortcake. When you think of cake, that's what you picture. I carry the plate of homemade strawberry shortcake over to my teacher. Well, that looks pretty all right. I think you did pretty good. Hey, it's you! You finally make an appearance! Nice! Time till Suo. Time until Suo is actually in the room with us. It's been a while. She solemnly digs her fork into it, slicing through the moist sponge and fresh cream. Then she lifts the neatly cut piece to her spellbindingly beautiful lips and... Oh no.
なんだかその味がしないです。
Poop.
そうか。
Well... My shoulders slump. A fail, huh?
先輩。
I've been working on the scarf for a little while now. I know it's not like me at all, seeing the knitting needles and ball of yarn sitting atop my chair whenever I return to my room still gives me a laugh. You are straight out of a shoujo manga. There are so-called girly things that I actually like, but I realize they don't actually jibe with my image. That's what makes me snigger. Still, in for a penny, in for a pound. Once I'd made up my mind to go all in for her birthday, I'd got to thinking about what I'd need. I'm already working diligently on her present. She's not listening at all. Then I'd realized it wouldn't do to not have a cake for her birthday, for the birthday girl too. And so I decided that alongside my gift, I'd also prepare a cake. We're pulling in everybody for this. This is like a cake emergency, and we're getting everybody involved now. Whoa, we're shaking. We're big shaking. I'm snapped out of my train of thought by someone shaking my arm. I guess I was trying to avoid thinking about my very real failure right now. That is not even half. That is not even remotely half. I'm not really good at math at all, but I could tell you that that is not even close to half. Even Ichigo knows. Me and Ichigo are totally stupid, and we both know. I apologize again, shaking my head to try and clear away the cobwebs that must have built up as I was concentrating. You got the sponge part right. She's right. Perfecting the base sponge has been a long, arduous journey full of ups and downs, but I've managed it. I try a bite for myself. The sponge is perfectly springy. All that practice paid off. No problemo. But the cream. Oh, now stop that. You're absolutely sweet. When I wonder aloud if that's actually true, Ichigo-kun chimes in with her agreement, and Ringo-kun nods emphatically. Italian month. According to the cooking club's schedule, this month is dedicated to making Italian food. I'm well aware of that. Wanting to bake a cake for Narine's birthday, I'd begged Sakuragi-kun, the club president, to give me special permission to bake a cake instead. The Sasaki sisters and Suo-kun's eyes are searching mine for the truth. I might be able to dupe the twins even if I hesitate for too long, but Suo-kun is another matter. Gotta think fast, gotta think fast, gotta think fast. Yeah, your little brother! Let's go! The old little brother. The old little brother scheme. That always works. Convinced by my explanation, they nod, and I silently apologize to my brother for using him as an excuse. I mean, I don't know that you gotta go that far. I mean, he doesn't even need to know. Like, none of these girls are ever gonna see him. You'll never need... There is no situation where he'll ever need to know that you used him as an excuse. Ah, she's so earnest. Absolutely can't fail this time. I give Ichigo-kun a dubious look as she grabs a bowl.
生クリームの作り方はそう変わりませんし、いちごさんに教わってはどうでしょうか。
Looks like she has my teacher's endorsement. She's a little cream-making monster.
再度挑戦するとしよう。
Yeah, I said that out loud. Those was a configuration of words that just flew out of my mouth without a single thought. I resolve to face my... You can't do this game. Stop. I resolve to face my cream issues head on. The recipe is simple enough. All you need is fresh cream and granulated sugar. As far as equipment goes, you just need a big bowl filled with ice water to cool it. The cream has to be cold as you whip it. Otherwise, fats will separate and it'll end up grainy rather than the smooth consistency you want. Where I went wrong last time was in not adding enough sugar, which meant that it wasn't sweet enough. And it turned out too grainy too, because I'd over-whipped it. Apparently, that can happen even if you keep the temperature down.
そろそろかな。
My cream is just about at the soft peak stage. When I scoop it up with a whisk, it slides smoothly back down into the bowl to be quickly absorbed into the rest of the white mixture.
まだまだですね。もうちょっとなのでファイトですよ、ゆずりは先輩。
うむ。やりすぎないように注意してかき混ぜていこう。
I resume whipping. Until now, I've been avoiding the bowl. I've been holding the bowl at an angle and moving the whisk from side to side. Now that the cream is starting to thicken, I draw an oval shape through it, folding air into the liquid. Just how my teacher taught me. I persist in my close quarters battle with the cream. After a while, I ask the nearby Ichigo-kun if it's ready yet.
ですね。七分立てまでになったらスポンジの周りに塗りましょう。
Just like I'd done before, I spread the semi-solidified cream onto the surface of the sponge. I'm good at that part. I'm finished in no time. Then it's back to whip some more creamy ass! Whip some more creamy ass!
Whip some more creamy ass!
弟さん、確かサッカーが得意なんでしたよね。
Good change of topic.
ああ、勉強はあまり振るわないが、スポーツは得意のようだね。特にサッカーは好むようだ。進学も
Just leaning into this whole brother thing.
すごいですね。スポーツが得意っていろいろ試してサッカー一本にしたんですか？
I can't help but laugh as I recall the unbelievable reasoning behind his decision.
夢の中でダビド・ルイスに一緒にプレーしようと説得されたからだ。
David Luiz came to him in a dream?
そういうのも理由になるんですね。
Sounds like a reason Ichigo would do something.
何を目指すだとか、好きになるとかは些細なことさ。
My current batch of cream is forming stiff peaks.
生クリームの完成。
Cream
あとはビク
complete!
トリーバッグに入れてデコレーションするだけだ。
But before that, I scoop up some cream from the bowl using my finger and lick it off.
甘い。
It's sweet.
成功ですか？
Following my lead, Ichigo-kun also scoops up some cream and licks it from her finger. She immediately grimaces. It's well,
ですね。
well. So much for creamy ass.
ああ、グラニュー糖を入れすぎたらしい。
I'd measured the amount out so carefully. I feel the heavy weight of failure settle on my shoulders once again.
でも今度はボソボソになってません。進歩ですよ。
We're gonna pull a positive out of this one way or another. Silver lining Ichigo is what they call her.
まあ、そうだ。
Yeah, I guess. It's nice that she's encouraging me, and I manage to smile despite the heavy burden hanging over me. Ichigo-kun scoops up another blob of cream and eats it.
あの
Oh.
さっきは甘く感じましたけど、実はそれほどでもなかった
She's
ような気がします。
God, I just want to hug her. With that, she reaches into the bowl again and holds her index finger out to me.
そうかな。
You are a real, you know, this is an uncharacteristically smooth move from Miss Ichigo. I lick the cream from her dainty finger and it really is too sweet.
どうですか？
Well, what do you mean? She seems restless, her tone filled with concern for me.
悪くない。
八代先輩。
Y'all, what are you doing over here? Y'all, like literally, what we have, like, is this another moment where like literally everybody's watching? That's what it's gonna be, right? My teacher tugs at my sleeve and at her urging, I look around us.
もし警察
That was weird, wasn't it? Yeah, hey everybody. The other cooking club members are shooting us sidelong glances, their faces flushed.
最近いちごくんが積極的になっていると感じていたのに。
I tell myself again what a rash act that was. I didn't want to end up having to lie and hurt someone again like I did in that sunset lit greenhouse.
ゆずりは先輩。
だいぶ形になった。いちごくん。あ、いや、3人にはお礼をしなくてはならないね。
お礼ですか？別にそんなつもりじゃ。いちごね。
Ringo-kun beckons her over and whispers into her ear. The way Ichigo-kun's face suddenly lights up makes me wonder what she could possibly have suggested. Oh,
一つお願いがあるの
you
ですけ
have
ど。
a request. I'm so embarrassed, Suo-kun whimpers. She squirms, her pale skin flushing as I take her measurements. The requests had been for me to help them make their costumes. When I'd heard that they'd prepared the patterns but hadn't yet taken any measurements, I'd had us split into pairs to take care of it.
いいなあ、そうちゃん。私的にも早く測ってほ
I
しい
bet
よ。
you can't. Oh, gee. She's done. She's already done. Girl is already done.
通常採寸は2人1組でないと無理だが、1人でもやりようはある。でもそれは元の服を着た上で測るから、そもそもの服がないとダメだね。
そう。
I'm pretty sure she doesn't have anything similar on hand. Suo-kun seems disappointed.
僕としては学院一の美人に
Well,
自分が立ちつつ触
I
ることがで
mean,
きて、
she's still Yuzu after all. What? Excuse me?
おっと、あまり身動きすると本当にまずい部分に触れてしまうよ。次はヒップだ。
お尻ですか？
採寸ではヒップは腰のことを言うのさ。すごいな。
Even at the widest point of her hips, she's still so slim. It's positively frightening. Are we done? Can we just be done? Can this just be over with, please?
みんなが見守る理由
You're not helping, Yuzu! After class, the textiles room is packed with students preparing for Halloween. All of their gazes focused on Suo-kun and her enviable figure.
いや、それもあるとは思いますけど。八代先輩に採寸されているのが羨ましいということもあると思いますですよ。
とりあえずお楽しみのバストウエス
The
ト
much anticipated bust waist measurements are done. Are we done? Are we done? Are we good? Can we stop now?
当然まだだよ。あとは
Hemline, sleeve length. Oh dear, the inseam, you say. The inseam, you say. Suo-kun's expression shifts to that of a tragic hero, bravely resigned to go to his death. I put my hand on her back.
動かないでくれよ。
Gotta get your hemline.
だけはこの首の突き出た骨から。
I trail my hand down her slender back, chuckling at the way she trembles slightly under my touch. It would be enough to awake anyone's sadistic side. Ringo-kun, who's been watching me with great interest, suddenly pipes up.
八代先輩はこの被服室である噂が流れているのをご存知ですか？
Uh-oh. Are we about to go? Are we really? Are we about to go into 7 Mysteries of Saint Angraecum mode?
噂？いや、聞いたことがないな。
ハロウィンに向けて針仕事が苦手な生徒は遅くまで作業しているのは知ってますよね。
ああ、1年前にも消灯の時間が過ぎても作業していて注意されていたことを覚えているよ。
I've been through all these measurements
次は袖
before.
だけだ。
I've had costumes made. I know that this is kind of a weird thing. As I instruct Suo-kun to loosen up her limbs, I glance at Ringo-kun to encourage her to continue.
夜遅く一人で被服室にて作業している生徒。ふと人の気配に視線を上げると。
How did she do that when there's no mirror?
という噂が広がって
Did
い
she
る
see
のですよ。
herself like in the window or something? Or
いや、それは鏡に映った。
yeah, that don't make no sense. Even as I say it, I remember that there aren't any mirrors in the room.
私的にも聞いたことがあるよ。なんだかドッペルゲンガーみたいな話だよね。おお、イチゴ姉もドッペルゲンガーを知っているのですね。
Keeping an eye on the increasingly excited twins beside me, I measure Suo-kun's other arm.
ドッペル。聞いたことがある名だな。
八代先輩も知っているですか？
I read it in a Ryunosuke Akutagawa novel. I read all of those. I mean, that was my first natural. I didn't even have to look at the guide there. I stop what I'm doing, search through my memories.
確か以前、芥川龍之介の短編で読んだな。
二つの手紙ですね。
そうだ。さすがよく覚えているね。主人公の大学教師が何度も自分と妻の姿を目撃するという筋だった。
芥川龍之介自身も自分のドッペルゲンガーを見たと話していますよ。一度は帝劇、一度は金座にと。
さすがに階段の舞台でそのものズバリの話をするのはいい気分がしないね。
Dun dun dun! Oh! We're going up! To lighten the mood, I brush my hand dangerously close to Suo-kun's no-go zone as I move to measure her inseam. Flustered, she tries to twist away, and my fingers drift even further into the danger zone. Good God, girl! She immediately shrinks back, and I smile to reassure her that I don't really have any ulterior
股
motives.
下の採寸はももの付け根から足首までなんだ。
Look, it's just how it is. Yeah, they've kind of got to go from your crotch down to your ankle. Like, it's a little uncomfortable. If you don't know the person and, you know, you're maybe feeling a little self-conscious. Forcing myself to stay cool and collected, I continue measuring. Wise as she is, my teacher refrains from making any further movement, although she's still trembling slightly. I could do this in my sleep, but now, feeling the sadistic urge well up again, I narrow my eyes, acting like I'm having trouble with it. Although she's shaking like a leaf, Suo-kun remains gallantly fixed in place. But when I sneak a peek up at her face, I see that she's flushed crimson to the very tips of her ears. She's such a nice girl. She probably thinks it'd be rude to block me off in a hurry. Block me off or hurry me when I appear to be taking this so seriously. I'd considered this as a side perk of the job, but realizing that I'm probably pushing it a bit too far, I smile wryly to myself and finish up speedily.
しかし被服室で己と同じ姿を見るか。なんだ
Oh, here we go! Time till 7 mysteries. Seeing that she has my full attention, Ringo-kun sticks a finger in the air authoritatively.
そうです。被服室、寄宿舎で己と同じ姿を見るとのことで、噂の怪異は寄宿舎のシェイプシフターではないかと言われているのですよ。寄宿舎の
The shapeshifter of the dorms. Suo-kun stares off into the distance as though this has some particular meaning for her.
七不思議の一つだ。確か
どんな姿にも姿を変えられる幽霊、悪魔だと諸説ある存在ですね。
なるほど。どんなものにでも化けることができる。だから自分の姿にも化けられ
I
るという
suppose it could.
だということか。
ですです。
I nod. The logic follows.
私たちで寄宿舎のシェイプシフターの謎を解き明かしてみない？
Just all in, huh? Like on top of everything else we gotta do? I gotta knit a damn scarf. I gotta learn to make cake. I've got an event to run. I gotta make my own damn costume. Are you gonna try and make me seriously solve like a years old mystery on top of doing all that? This girl got no time. She's not gonna have time for sleep. She's not gonna have time to even be gay. Ignoring their bubbling excitement, I think back on when I was here working at night.
俺と同じ姿か。自分の目に私自身はどう映るのかな。
In my mind's eye, I see a vision of myself void of expression. The self-derisive image causes a cynical smile to tug at the corners of my lips. And there you go. That was a...
塩はいいも
Well,
のだ。
salt is good, but if salt has lost its taste, how shall its saltiness be restored? Maybe we'll figure that out. Maybe we'll figure out the mystery of salt and the shapeshifter the next time we're together. So things are definitely kind of moving along now. We're building on to things. This girl, Jesus, she's got so much going on though. I don't know how she's not gonna go insane between trying to juggle all of this Council of Nikaya stuff and all of her cream issues. Like, there's just so much going on. There's so much going on, but we believe! This is the kind of girl that's always gonna struggle through adversity and come out on top. I believe in her. And I believe in you. I don't know why, but I just do. If you don't think anybody believes in you, check it out. You've got a virtual plushie on the internet that believes in you. Anyway, as always, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you have a nice rest of your whatever, and I hope to catch you next time. We'll see you then. Bye!